Hello, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping. It's our paper pumpkin workshop tonight on Monday, June 5th, 2023. We're going to be working on the May kit from 2023, and that's called Exploring in Color. And when I saw this set initially, I didn't catch on that exploring in color meant exploring the in colors for Stampin' Up! For the next 2 years. Now that I get it, I love it. I love the idea and I love these colors. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down so that I can show you what those in colors are, and we can take a look at this great kit. As you're signing on, please let me know who you are and where you're watching from. I always like to see those that are participating in Plum Crazy Stamping. And if you have any questions, please use the comments to ask and also to provide feedback. Okay, and if you have your own paper pumpkin in front of you and you're following along, that's awesome. The first thing we're going to do tonight we're going to do one card of each of the 3 projects that are included in this kit. The kit has a total of 9 cards in it. But I am going to show you a way to get more cards, actually 5 cards, out of 1 card and 1 envelope. So hang on, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. And let's take a look at the desktop here. All right, as I'm tuning that in here, let me refresh my computer so I can see if you are signing in and if you have any questions. If I miss anything that you are asking me, I will look at it after the broadcast and get back to you. It is limited in how many comments I can see at a time. So right now I can see that Carol and Kathy and Sue and Xana are on. So hello, so glad that you're here. And all right, so as I said, this is called Exploring in Color or Exploring in Color. So it is the new in colors of Stampin' Up! And this new set of colors is in place now for the next 2 years. So Copper Clay was the small ink spot that we got as a part of our kit. So I save these for crops and when I'm stamping on the go with my friends. So I'll be using my regular pad tonight. But then the other colors are Wild Wheat, Moody Mauve, Pebbled Path, and Boho Blue. Aren't they beautiful? I think they're beautiful. They're so muted. They're so different from last year's, and I loved last year's. But I have done some projects on Facebook that you've already seen, and I've been doing more on my own, and I just love these colors. So anyway, that's the whole in color thing of this kit. And what a beautiful box, huh? And then inside, like I said, we have enough supplies to make 9 cards. Every card actually had the back and front was very, I don't know, colored, I guess you would say. We've got some extra stickers to use however we please. I got a number of die cuts in addition to the, let me put this on something so you can see the stamp set. I've already mounted the different sentiments on my acrylic blocks, but there's also a hiking boot, a coffee cup, and a compass, which I think are cool. Kind of the exploring feature, right? So I'm going to kind of keep this off to the side here. All right, and then we've got some linen thread, kind of a neutral color, and like I said, die cuts, etc. So one of the things I love about Paper Pumpkin is you can buy it month to month. You can buy it in 3, 6, or 12-month increments. And as you buy those larger subscriptions, you get some benefits with that. If you buy an annual subscription, you actually get a whole month free. So that's great. In each kit comes instructions. So you can see here the whole kit all put together is 3 different cards with 3 of each. And then when you first open the instructions, they show you how to gather the different pieces of the kit into your projects. And if you do like the projects as they are, it takes a lot less time if you do set them up by project and do like the 3 cards of project 1 together, the 3 cards of project 2, and the cards of project 3. There's also a ruler that's right here on the side of these instructions so that when you need to measure your linen thread for use, you have it. They also show within the instructions the adhesive that comes along. We've got little mini glue dots and dimensionals. And if you see a black dot, that's a mini glue dot. And if you see a little white circle, it's using a dimensional. So they get very detailed with their instructions to share with you so you can make the cards just as they have, or you can go rogue. So I'm going to do 3 of the 3 projects as they're suggested, and then we're going to go rogue. So let's have some fun. I've already got these separated into their different sections. We're going to go ahead and look at project 1 here. And aren't these beautiful? Let me show you what I did, though, as I'm getting started, so you're not surprised. When I saw these cards, so this is the card that I was supposed to fold in half. Okay, so the front and the back. Yes, they're beautiful, but I thought, wow, I can get so much more out of this. So I cut every card in half on the score line. So I am going to make at least 2 cards with every 1 card. Okay, so that is my first disclaimer. So what I'm going to do, since I've done that, is I'll take the front of the card. So I'm going to do the card design on the front like I'm supposed to, but I'm actually going to glue that onto one of my thick cardstock medium sized card bases. So my card base, this is a half a piece of the thick white cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. Okay. So you're not even going to know the difference until you open this, because I am going to glue this right down to the front of the thick white cardstock base. And if I were going to just carry on, I would take the back and I would glue them all to the front if I wanted to use them each as a card like this. But I've got some other ideas for later when I go a little rogue from the instructions. So anyway, there is our front card now, ready to make just the way that it was designed, right? I've got the card front. I need to do a little stamping. This is actually going to be a banner that says happy birthday. I'll remind you that the paper pumpkin kits are photopolymer stamps, so I do need to use my pierce mat to provide a little cushion. I've got my happy birthday mounted here, and I want to just get my copper clay stamp pad ready. And remember, these are new stamp pads, so they're very full of ink. So I'm just going to tap this in here very lightly so I don't get too much ink and make a mess, right? And then I'm just going to line this up. Oh, wow. I'm not kidding you when I say these ink pads are very juicy, because I already got some ink right on the corner of this acrylic block. So got to kind of watch for that. All right, and then I'm going to line up my happy birthday right in the center of the label that was included in the kit. And there we've got our happy birthday. I've got my stamping shimmy here, or chamois. That's what it is, chamois, sorry, to clean my stamps right away. So I'm going to do that as I go. It's also a way that I don't get ink where I don't want it on a card or on me. Okay, then let's go ahead and I'm going to just kind of set this off to the side. I'm not going to close it because it is the color I'm going to use on everything. So now that I have this stamped, they want me to put 4 mini glue dots on the back. So I'm just going to use my take your pick tool and go ahead and do that. Oh, you know what? Actually, this is a situation where I put the little glue dots on the banner that is just a die cut from the copper clay, and I'm going to put the dimensionals here on the back of my banner. So let's see, I'm just going to use up these ones I have on the edge of this piece of paper, which is pretty old and it doesn't come off the greatest. So let's just see here. It's kind of dry. I don't know if you've ever had this happen to your dimensionals, but it just takes a little patience, but I don't want to throw them away. So let's put one right here, and I'll get the next one there. That one came off a lot better. And then take off the paper covering here, and let's put the last one on there. Oh, that one didn't get the dried paper part off the back. There we go. I don't know why, but looking at these cards make me think of Wyoming or Colorado. I don't know if it's the buffaloes roaming there, you know, the lakes, the trees, mountains in the background on one of them we're going to be doing here, but it makes me feel Colorado-like. My computer decided to, I'll have to turn it back on again, but let's just go ahead and finish this. So if you're asking a question right now, I can't see it. All right. There we go. Okay, and then as the instructions share with us, I need 12 inches of the linen, which I have here, and it looks like they want us to tie it. When I say they, I just mean the Stampin' Up! Instructions. Want us to tie this in a big, loose bow. So let me do that with very large loops. I don't know if I caught it in the middle here enough to do the loops equally, but let's see if I can pull this one out. Nope, gotta go the other direction. I didn't get it in the center enough. We'll start over. Right in the center, here we go. There, that's better. So this is just going to get, once I, let's first put the accent die cut that is in the, oops, I already took that adhesive off. So I'm going to do this like they had suggested. They liked it a little tilted, so we'll tilt ours. And I'm going to get another glue dot here to have behind the ribbon. That's going to go right in the center here so that we can put our linen thread behind there as an accent. I think they just want it sticking out a bit. And then I'm going to put the happy birthday on it so that you can see some of the twine, linen thread, twine. I want to put the loop down there so it shows. So I'm just putting it a little off, not totally over it, but enough to make it show off there. And we've got our little pieces of twine sticking out. I'm going to have to trim them a bit. I don't like them hanging down that much. Okay. And then we've got our binoculars here. And these also just have a little, the dimensionals behind them to put right here as an accent piece on top of the happy birthday. And there we have our first card. I am not such a fan of these little loops, but there. I think if I made it not so big, I like it a little bit better. So that is card 1 of this kit. I think it's so pretty. I was backpacking in South Dakota when I was in high school. Trying to think. Oops, I can't talk and put my pin in the computer at the same time. In South Dakota, and it reminds me of that. Only we had wild horses, not buffalo, when we were hiking. Oh, and Ethel, so nice to see you. All right, guys, I can go back to seeing if you have any questions or comments. So let's go to the second project, and here's the very pretty envelope that goes along with this one. Okay, let's get the instructions for number 2. All right. And here we go. Now this one actually has the Moody Mauve envelope cover. Actually, this one is boho blue. And now I did the same thing here. I've cut off the back of this. I'm going to just glue this right to the front right away. And I'm saving up all the backs of these cards to do a whole nother round of card making. So I know I'm at least going to have 18 cards. But as I said, I have something I'm going to show you here in the end to get even more cards. All right, so just line that up. So the choice I had was to line these up or to actually cut 1/4 of an inch off each side and then have this be have a white border. You could definitely do that. You could also put this on colored cardstock and then put white as a card insert, but I thought this was the most straightforward, so I'm just doing it this way. All right, then let's go ahead and stamp on our label here, and this time we need it to say, "Life is meant for good friends and great adventures." Oh, isn't that true? I had a lot more of those when I was younger. I also went to Young Life camp, and one was motorcycles and horses. Another was all kinds of water things, sailing, boating, and parasailing. The thing is, when I was parasailing, I'm dreadfully afraid of heights, so I watched people for a whole day as they did that parasailing. Everyone did it perfect, so I thought, okay, you have to try this, right? So the only thing they said to me as I was getting ready to run down the pier to give the boat time to, pull the rope out so that it would pull me up in the air, they said, "Don't look at your feet." I don't know why, but I looked at my feet. And then I proceeded to fall face forward on the pier. I did not hit my nose, but I hit both elbows, both knees, which were all bleeding, and then I got pulled up into the air, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm up there, right?" The thing is, when I came down into the water after the wonderful experience of parasailing, oh, did that hurt, because I had all of those cuts. But I guess in the biggest sense of all, I'm glad I did it. I don't know if I'd do it again, but I did it. I don't know if you've ever had that experience of parasailing. But anyway, these cards remind me very much of doing that, because I also canoed in the Boundary Waters. And so this canoe picture reminds me of that. And I don't know if any of you have ever portaged a canoe, but they're about 100 pounds. And I actually portaged a canoe and had a backpack on my back. And that was at a church camp when I was in high school. And they played that we put photos from our experience to music. And then we had our parents come to church and get to see our photos. And they put the picture of me portaging my canoe to the song, It's a Miracle. Who sings that song? Barry Manilow, maybe? Oh, gosh, it was funny. But I was glad that I did it. So I really do love adventures. Now they just take a different form and a little bit more low-key. Let's see here, trying to just pull that ribbon back a bit. So I'm just putting the linen thread around this die cut as it's suggesting in the directions, making a bow. And then I'm going to just trim this a little bit. Okay. Let's see, here's my scissors to give this a trim. All right, and this one I have already put the little glue dots on. I'm just going to take the paper covering off here. And let's go ahead and put some dimensionals. Oh, this one has the little glue dots too. What should it have been? Well, they're both going to be flat on this one. So you can use the dimensionals or not. In this case, I'm not. Okay. So I'm going to first put the die cut as an accent up here over the mountains. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put our stamped sentiment label right underneath the linen thread. Okay. And there we have that one. Isn't it interesting how they can put these designs together? They're very simple and straightforward, but they're so beautiful. I think this card front does so much that I don't even have to do much decorating. Hi, Rosemarie. Hi, Betty. Oh my gosh, Rosemarie, you want zip lining? You know, I don't know if I could do zip lining. I've never done it. I think I'd be a little paranoid. I know a lot of people have tried it and they love it. All right, let's go ahead to number 3 here. And we've got, now we have the copper clay envelope top. And I'm going to do the same thing with this card. And glue it on here. I'm interested, for those of you that have tried the in colors or have been looking at them in the catalog, what is your favorite new in color? I'm curious. I haven't, for me, I don't have one yet. I don't know. I have used some more than others, but I really don't have a favorite yet. So I'm curious what you would consider your favorite to be. I'm going to take off the adhesive covering here for this die cut. Sometimes, depending upon how designer series paper use the in colors, sometimes that kind of sways me. And sometimes, I know there's been times with the in colors that I kind of late in the game decide I really like one, and then it's like, oh no, they're retiring and I really like this one. Then I have to buy a whole bunch of it. And actually, Berry Burst was one of those colors, and I bought a whole bunch of it, and if it didn't come back around, I was so happy. Same with Pretty Peacock. I had a whole bunch of that paper, and it came back. Very, very happy about that. Okay, so let's see. This one says, oh my, it doesn't matter where you're going, it's who you have beside you. I think that is a beautiful saying. So I'm going to ink this one up. I just stuck my finger in the ink. Another reason why I have the Simply chamois right next to me. Okay, set that aside again. Go ahead with this. I just love with Paper Pumpkin kits when they provide these nice sentiment labels. They're so pretty. Makes it easy. I think that's the whole point of the Paper Pumpkin and the kits. It makes it easy. I don't have to think a lot, and I can just stamp away and enjoy myself. Okay, so let's go ahead, and on this one I am to put a number of dimensionals, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think it says put 3 on here. So I will follow the directions. I already have one on my compass. Now this time the suggestion is to take 14 inches and make a little kind of circle thing. Some loops to go in between the dimensionals on here. So let's see if I can do that, or if I need to, I have to widen this a little bit to get across. Both dimensionals here. Okay, and then keep that looped in, but it doesn't stick out. That's not going to work. I think they kind of had me cut this too short. So let's just do this. We'll loop around outside of it, come back over here. I don't practice this much. I probably should. They do it in so many of their cards, and I just don't. I'm curious, do you guys loop it around when you use linen thread? Do you make like little circles and have them show? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm making a mess here. There we go. It's not as easy as it looks. Or put it this way, it shouldn't be as hard as I'm making it look. I'm just trying to get 2 lengths of that and get it glued back down on the dimensionals there. All right. Only you will really know what I went through to do this. Good thing, right? All right, and this one we're going to center. There we go. And who would have known those loops were so cranky? Except right here, it wants to come out. So I've got to stuff it back in there. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and take the paper covering off my compass and put this up at the top. Very nice. So these cards were basically stamping the sentiments and putting the die cuts together that they have provided. And, you know, little linen thread action. And that is our 3 cards, okay? So I think you can see all of these. Before we go to, I told you I was going to show you how to make 2 cards now from 1 card in 15 minutes. Well, actually, here's the surprise. I am going to show you how to make 4 cards in the 15 minutes. So let me just take this, or maybe 5 cards. So I am going to move these out of my way. Let's get our, we don't need the instructions. We'll just slide these up here for now. All right. And actually, let me show you. So this is the envelope, right? Gorgeous. And then I have the front and the back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these seams that they will actually make 5 cards. So let me get out my trimmer. And let's see. Blue and mauve, Kathy, yes. Copper, Rosemary, boho, blue or moody mauve. You guys, everybody likes different ones here. Okay, so let me move these just so I can put my trimmer down here, okay? Now we're going to have to start the 15 minutes. So it's 6:32. So let's see what I can do in 15 minutes. So I am going to look at, now, you know, this is 5.5. So, 5.5, 2 3/4. I do not want to cut those little buffalo in half. So I'm going to go just to the top of them, and I want to see a little of this. So I'm going to make 2 scenes. One is all about the buffalo, one is about the mountains, okay? Then I'm going to take this one, and I want to leave the buffalo with the tent, and I want the lake scene to be, oh boy, I don't want to hit that buffalo. It's going to be a tight one here. Ah, good. I didn't want to get the lake and the buffalo scene with the tent. And then I have another landscaping one, right? And then I better move these so I can properly cut this next one. So to do this, I am going to go ahead and let's see what this measures. As far as a regular card at 5.5, I'm just going to cut the edges off of here. Like, you know, we do when I use the inside of an envelope in a design. This time I'm going to use the outside of the envelope. Just go like this. And I want to make this at 5.5. We'll hit that. Okay. I'm going to need to cut off this lower, the bottom of the envelope here. Okay. Now I can use this for a scrap when I'm doing other things. These envelopes are like a little linen though, and they have a lot more cotton scraps. All right, then let's see, how big do I want to make this on my envelope? Maybe 4 inches. Okay, and we've also got that. So there, now we've got a regular card front size on that one. Let's see what else I want to do as I cut these up. So, tell you what, this one that is all white, I am going to mount on the pebbled path. So I just happen to have some of the half cardstock here. So this one is already cut at, where do I have this at? 5.5. And so I need to score this at 4 1/4. for the 8.5 side. Let's see here. Okay, and let me get my bone folder in place with this one. I left the glue open while I was talking to you. There we go. Oops. A little bit extra. And I'm going to put this on to be a landscape card. Okay, so there's one. Now, I am going to decorate these based on how much time I have left once I have the basic cards made, okay? All right, so then I have these 4 scenes, and they're different sizes, obviously. So now I'm just going to use 4 of the white card bases that are up and down. So this is where it's 11, scored at 5.5, and it's 4 1/4 across. So let's see. This can fit on this way. We've got this way. We've got one that's a little bit shorter. Okay, this is a bigger one. Now these could all be just glued on and sentiments done, and they would be completed, right? But let's see, I think this one will be the prettiest with just a sentiment at the bottom. So I'm going to stamp this one and then figure out where I want to glue down my designer series card front there. Okay. And since this is just words, I think they'll be fine. I'm going to put this on the bottom. Okay. So, you know, one thing I could do is if I wanted to put yellow on either side of this. You know what? I think I'm just going to cut a couple of strips here, and I am going to have that happen. So let's just do... I believe that's a 1/2 inch. We'll do another one of those. And then I need to cut these to 4 inches. I'm sorry, 4 1/4 inches. So that they will be right to the edge of the card. All right, so let me go ahead and put the little bit of glue on here and on the other side. I'm sorry, I'm down too far. I'm not showing you. There we go. I just have them on the edges, and now I'm going to turn this over so I can look at how much, and I need my little silicone mat so I don't get glue on the desktop, right? But I want to make sure that I do these equidistant. So I'll press that one down there, and then have the same distance is. A little bigger on the bottom than on the top, but I think that really adds, you know, to the card. So now I'm going to go ahead and just glue the whole thing down. Okay, so now we've got a second card. I think I'm going to put one of the bigger sentiments on this one here, so we'll call this one done. Let's go ahead and let's see, life is meant. I'm trying to think, I guess the center is the best with this one. Okay. All right, so we've got two of them done. Let's see. So what I did is I did take little scraps that I had from these. Ooh, that's going to fit perfect. That I have in colors to use on this. So here's another one I can do this way. Question is, do I want to do something in a different direction? You know what, I just am liking the way this is, but this time we'll put the greeting on top and we'll put this one all the way down. How does that sound? All right, unfortunately I cannot see your comments again. My computer is shutting off very quickly tonight. Oh, Sue, thank you for telling me I was off screen. Okay, so let's make sure that I'm back on screen here and glue this one down. Now, I first thought this color was kind of icky, but wild wheat, but when I see it now, I actually like it. It's kind of, it looks like Dijon mustard, I guess. Let's go ahead and go right to the bottom of this card. There we go. And let's see. Cheers to another adventure. All right, I am going to do that one. Okay. Now I can add the compass. Oh no, you guys, did you see that? I had ink on the side of the block, I bet you. Yep. So I'm going to cover that up with a gem in just a minute. Let's see, what are we going to do with this one? I think I'm going to make another one this color. What colors do I have? Ooh. I think that looks good. This is a scrap I have. It's kind of not even. Let's see. All right, everything is kind of measured. I think I'm going to actually just tear this a little bit. Okay. We'll make it a little more rugged. And we'll put our Actually, I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I think you'll see more of the torn paper, and actually it will look better. So I'm just going to take a little bit off of that. There. I'm liking that a little bit better. You know, I might even like this better. What other? Tell you what, I'm going to even mount this a little bit to get another color in here. So as I cut this, I'm just going to, let's see, what's this? I am roughly measuring this, not really. I think that looks better. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this. Do you see when you kind of have your resources together and it matches? It doesn't take all that long to make your designs. And maybe they're not as fancy or as perfected as I'd like them to be, but they're going to be just fine. And I'm going to have a lot of cards that I can get in the mail. All right, so we've got this. And then I'm going to do this. I'm just putting glue back on here. All right, where is the, I think this is a perfect happy birthday for a guy. I always need a couple of those cards in my back pocket. All right, there we've got that happy birthday. Okay, got some glue on here, which when it dries I can get off. And let's put together this last one. Well, I'll tell you what, this has got the color of the tent. I've got to do something with the color of the tent. I think I'm going to cut the regular card front that I like. So that's 4 inches. It's kind of the old fallback, right? And I go in 1/4 inches from there. Oop. Okay. 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now you can put that in the center or off to the side. Trying to think if there's something else I should do to make this more interesting. Not coming to me. That yellow on yellow is almost too bright. What do I have? I had 51. Ooh, I only have 1 minute, you guys. All right, so in interest of time, I'm going to do this the simple way. I could actually make a double. Another layer on here to make it pop a little more. You know what, I'm going to do that, even if I'm going to be over time a minute. I am going to actually put a very thin white border around this. Very thin, but it's going to make it stand out a little more. So let me go ahead and just cut that. Let's see, very thin. And very thin on this side. Oh, that side it's almost non-existent. Okay, but anyway, there. And I'm going to pop this one up with dimensionals. So now, with there being one envelope and one card to get 9 cards, if I can make 5 cards out of all 9, I can make 45 cards out of this kit with just some white cardstock card bases, and use, you know, a few sheets of colored cardstock for accents. And you could actually give these to a friend as a set because they all match. Let me just stamp on here. I'm going to do another one of the adventure ones. I like that one. This would be even a graduation card. Cheers to another adventure, especially if they're going to go do something fun over the summer. All right, and then last, I know I'm out of time, but the cards are basically there. Let me move this out of the way. And the really cool thing is, let me close my ink pad. There are 2 kind of gems that come with the in colors. Now this one is coordinated with the Fresh as a Daisy set. And then there's a set of them that are larger and more clear glass. So I have some options here. Let's just lay these out and see if we can pick where we should do a gem or two, and if that will make a difference. So let me see if I lay these out. Oh, Kathy, thanks. I'm glad you like them. So we've got all of our ones for the set. The other thing is, I believe this is the set where if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, for $10, I think you could get a number, I'm not even going to guess, can't remember how many, a set of envelopes and additional cards for a very good deal. So anyway, all right, so these are our additional cards here. Well, I know the one that needs the gem is the one that I put the ink spot on, right? So let's go ahead and match it to the ink spot, and no one will even know it's there. Goodbye, mistake. It's kind of funny right there in the middle, but oh well. And then up here, I'm going to put another one, and maybe another one to match on this side. And maybe because that one big one looks so funny, I'll take these tinier ones and actually place them on here to kind of form a triangle. Yeah, that's a little weird, but oh well. I maybe should have put them together. All right, but you can hide your mistakes. So, with that being said, here you go. I think this was really easy. I am interested. What do you think? Oh, Rosemary, thank you. Oh, 18 cards and envelopes for $10. Thanks, Kathy. So a really great deal. Okay, so with that, let me flip the camera up. Well, before I do that, let me show you something. Just a reminder, this month, the Designer Series paper is on sale from the current catalog and the online exclusives. And so I am sending this out in my weekly email so you can refer to it, as well as you can see it on my online store. 15% off takes the price from like $14 to $10.42, I believe it is a pack, so it's a really good deal. And then also I will remind you that you're going to be seeing coming out this week the information about joining me for the birthday card bonanza. And these are three very unique, different cards. There's prizes or surprises inside each of them. And I'm also going to introduce you to my new formula for making card designs. And I can't wait to share that with you. And I'm going to do it for the first time with this class. So if you watch for that on my Facebook page, in email, and if you don't see it any of those ways, but you're interested in participating, don't hesitate to email me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. So anyway, let me flip this up and just let you know how much I appreciate each of you. I'm so glad that you could tune in tonight. And I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday this week for our regular Facebook Live. It's going to be fun. We're going to be doing something with irresistible blooms. So take care. Have a couple great days, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.